One of the things that Alain Sutre is famous for is when you pick. Alain is just, he's a bit of a Nazi about when you pick.
Right, yeah.
Because he goes, you have sugar ripeness and all that sort of stuff, and people get freaked out by sugar. But sugar always stops at some point. You don't get any more sugar in the grape. But then you get the proper ripeness, the flavor development, all that stuff. And we're sometimes picking, John probably told you, we're sometimes picking in November, right? And I remember the famous...
Hoping to God that it doesn't get too cold overnight, it would kill it, right?
So I remember the famous story that that Jim Wise at Brunel told me, where Alain wouldn't let him pick the Cabernet Sauvignon, and it was snowing outside in November, and Alain's going, he has a very famous French accented, sit on your hands, right, which means don't do anything.
So there's going to be photosynthesis, there's actually going to be development?
There's still development, and that's because, as Alain says, people think that if there's no leaves on a plant, that nothing happens.
That's what I was.
All of a sudden, the things are coming from the roots up to the grapes, and so he's going. It's not that simple that you have to have a leaf and nothing happens, right? So John and I typically are some of the latest harvesters because Alain will not allow us to harvest until we have true ripeness, right? And it has nothing to do with sugar. It has nothing to do with any single component. It has to do with what the grape's supposed to taste like at the end of the day before you vinify, right? Because if you don't get those flavors, you don't get those flavors in the wine. It's impossible.